वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि.
So you are now laying the foundation for our VITTC. We want to grow global, and all our women aspirations are to become global entrepreneurs. It is possible with the leadership which you give us. I think the team, you have a wonderful team, and we are there to support you, sir. We want to make Made in India, Telangana possible. This is our aspiration which we are looking forward to. And today we are honoring our startups who has been, her name is Santoshi. She's got, her unit name is Autocracy. She got $1 million funding. She's just a woman entrepreneur, and in manufacturing sector, she is a lady on a tractor. She made her own, an automobile line and also mechanical line, and she could scale up pan-India. And out of 200 successful entrepreneurs, she has been picked up for funding. That is what women can scale up, provided that right support is extended. Today we have all CEOs present here, sir, from different incubation centers. What we all request you, sir, is to provide us some kind of, already we have T-Hub and many of our startups are using T-Works also, but still a small entrepreneur requires a piece of land, and a startup requires some kind of support in infrastructure like that. It includes machinery and land also. So they can visualize their dreams and scale up their production and sustain in the market. Today at this price, you know, sir, they cannot afford, a startup cannot afford land. So think of it, and maybe if you can announce a startup industrial park, that would be great because all my CEOs are here, and of incubation centers. Many startups will grow as big, as you said, you wanted. The other day when you are addressing tribal department, I heard you. Many Bill Gates need to come from this country. Sir, we are capable. Give us that kind of support and infrastructure, and we will make a dent. We will say it is made in Telangana, made by Indian from India. This is how we will move forward, and the support what we require is in technology. And when we talk about rural women, I think their problems are somewhat different. What they require is little bit of technology, graduation and technology penetration, so that they can use e-commerce and have a digital training programs which will enable them to take advantage of global market.
The foundation stone for Women Entrepreneurs International Trade and Technology Center is being laid by none other than Honorable Minister Sri.KTR Garu today in Hyderabad. It's a prestigious project, one of its kind, sanctioned by Minister of MSME under the Marketing Hub scheme. Telangana is the only state which got approval for establishing Marketing Hub in India. Many states tried for the Marketing Hub, but Telangana got it. I cannot forget efforts made by Alip, more particularly Sheila Bade ma'am. She has been following up since from the project preparation. Every week she used to call me and to my headquarters also. And I must also thankful to Principal Secretary JS sir for giving consent of the state contribution in the national level steering committee. It's a good project, and it will go a long way, because women entrepreneurs are going to benefit a lot. It's going to be a one-stop shop for all the export-related and trade-related activities in the state.
So EdgeForce Solutions Private Limited is an defense sector startup. It has been manufacturing indigenous radars and low-cost anti-drone systems, UGV, and they have been supported with the ACLE VHub with 10 lakhs SISFS grant and 35 lakhs of METI grant, and the startup was supported by ACLE VHub with 8 lakhs of SISFS grant and 10 lakhs of Private Limited is into e-mobility. They have been manufacturing EV assembly and also lithium-ion battery assembly. Technology, she has different range of foods which the startup have received 4 lakhs EIR grant from ACLE VHub. The startup is a student in robotics and also with their professor who is into robotics.
$1 million demo day funding from AIM Niti Aayog. Please put your hands together.
ELIP and SADF collaborating with VITTC for a successful journey ahead. Using this combination of experience, expertise and knowledge base, the current entrepreneurs created by ELIP will be launched to their highest level. Additionally, VITTC gives access to technology transfer.
Your tireless efforts to support women entrepreneurship not only in India but also in South Asia is highly commendable. I am confident that the first of its kind marketing hub exclusively for South Asian women entrepreneurs will bridge the gender gaps in intra-regional trade and entrepreneurship in South Asia.
Board members to kindly join for the Laying Foundation stone unveiling.
On a great trajectory over the last several decades, I think the story of how women entrepreneurship in Hyderabad, in Andhra Pradesh, erstwhile Andhra Pradesh, now Telangana, has unfolded is something that you can certainly attribute a significant part of that to Rama Devi Garu and her team. My compliments to the entire team of ALEAP on this wonderful journey so far. Now today we've been invited to commemorate a new occasion to lay the foundation for the Women Entrepreneurs International Technology and Trade Center. I'm delighted that more and more such initiatives which will bring inclusivity, which will ensure that more and more entrepreneurs who are hesitant, like Rama Devi Garu said, will become part of the process of becoming an entrepreneur. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I don't think there has ever been a better time in India than now to be an entrepreneur. Because you have a situation now where governments across the country, be it state or its center, understand, acknowledge the role of entrepreneurs. Not only do they acknowledge, but they actually enable, give you an impetus, give you support to create enterprises, to create wealth, to create jobs. Because I think world over, not just in India, not just in Telangana, but world over, the biggest challenge for any leader, be it a chief minister or a prime minister or a governor or a president, irrespective of what title you hold, the biggest challenge today is employment creation, is to ensure that the youth, the most important resource for any nation, the human capital, is leveraged to the hilt. The most important challenge that any nation, especially a growing one like India, can have is to ensure that the energies that can be unleashed by the power of the youth are channelized in the right direction. Now that is something I think can only happen with private sector working together with the government. Because government alone can only do so much. Government alone can only absorb so much percentage of the youth. If you look at any developed country in the world, you would see that the private sector, in fact, thriving, doing rather well, contributing to the nation, contributing to the world at large, coming out with new ideas, really pushing boundaries, charting the uncharted. The story of entrepreneurship is something in which you're only limited by imagination, literally. Especially in a country like India, if you think for a minute, more than 50% of India today is less than the age of 27. India's median age is 27. We're a very young country. In fact, 65% of India is less than the age of 35. And this includes both men and women. Now, this is possibly the youngest country on the planet, and this is possibly the biggest resource we have at our disposal. Of course, we have abundant water, abundant land, we have abundant mineral resources, we have abundant other resources. The most important resource we have, of course, is human capital. Now, why do I say this? You look at a country like Japan. Japan hardly has 15% of land mass that is actually useful for inhabitation, to live, to do something, to work, etc., etc. And Japan, as most of you know, is one of the biggest sufferers after World War II. The only nuclear bomb that ever exploded on this planet was in Japan in 1940s, in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now, a country which has got only 15% of utilizable land, a country which suffered nuclear attack, a country which is prone to earthquakes, severe earthquakes, a country which is prone to tsunamis, a country which has got a long coastline and very little natural resources, has today become a force to reckon with. It is the third largest economy after US and China. And it is only 1/10 or in fact 1/12 of our size in terms of population. So without natural resources, with all these obstacles, with everything stacked up against them, what did the Japanese have? The only thing they had was the human intellect and human capital. And you can also look at Japan's neighbor, South Korea, Republic of Korea. Again, a fascinating story. More than 90% of the land mass in South Korea, again, is unutilizable. Again, everything stacked up against them. Very little natural resources. But today, if you go home, when you go home actually, all of you, please look around in your drawing room, please look around in your bedroom, please look around in your veranda, in your portico. You will see so many Korean and Japanese products. You'll see a Sony TV, you'll see a LG refrigerator, you'll possibly have a Hyundai, a car or some other make. You'll probably have a Toyota or a Honda or you can go on. There's so many things that these two countries have created between these two. It's amazing to even think and contemplate, because again, these are Asian countries not very far from us. Again, culturally very, very similar to India. The kind of power that they have unleashed over the last few decades is something that's truly impressive and truly amazing. And each and every time I've been to these two countries, I've come back with mixed bag of emotions. You feel sad for India. You feel happy for them. You have to think, you have to contemplate as to why and where we kind of lost out. And not too far from us, by the way. Across the Himalayas, on the other side, we have China, who's again become a force to reckon with. Now they're the second largest economy in the world. Right after United States, they're the second largest economy. So three countries which are not very far from us, China, Japan, Korea, I can go on, Malaysia, Singapore, all these countries have outdone their potential, have come out with world-class innovations. Even a small country like Israel, again, not very far from us, have outdone themselves. I think entrepreneurs of today, we cannot be content, Indians cannot be content in being some really good chief executives of large corporations which have been founded by somebody else. We take a lot of pride, of course. Satya Nadella, we take a lot of pride. Sundar Pichai, we take a lot of pride. Shantanu Narayan, we take a lot of pride. We keep saying, see how Indians have made it so big. And we keep taking a lot of pride each and every day. We hear about one more Indian CEO, Indra Nooyi and others, who've been born and raised here but have made the United States or the West their home. When they go there and achieve and accomplish something, we take a lot of pride. The question that we need to ask ourselves after we go home today, how many world-class Indian products are there across the boardrooms, drawing rooms and bedrooms in other parts of the world? Not a single one. I'm sorry to say this. I mean, if you take Tata Land Rover as an Indian product, then maybe yes, but otherwise it's an acquisition. Land Rover was acquired, Range Rover was acquired by Tata, so therefore Jaguar was acquired, so therefore. But otherwise, not a single Indian product, in spite of us being the most populous country in the world. ప్రపంచంలోనే అతిపెద్ద దేశం భారతదేశం. చెప్పాలంటే చాలా చెప్పొచ్చు, ఇది చేసాం అది చేసామని. ప్రపంచానికి సున్నా అందించాం, నిజంగానే సున్నా అందించాం. ఏం అందించాం, మనం ఏం చేసామో, సౌత్ కొరియా నుంచి ఇన్ని ప్రోడక్ట్స్ వస్తుంటే, జపాన్ నుంచి అన్ని ప్రోడక్ట్స్ వస్తుంటే, మనం ఏమో చిన్న చిన్న పనులు చేసి దానికే మురిసిపోయి ఇది చేసాము అది చేసాం. My humble request to all of you, especially the young women entrepreneurs here, who now have another opportunity, another fantastic, very soon, you'll have a platform to exhibit your products. You'll have opportunities to collaborate, market your products, opportunities to collaborate. I've heard the SARC, representatives speak. We have some fantastic ecosystem and a lot of, enablers here. Now, the question is, are we going to be content doing something in Telangana for Telangana? Are we going to be content doing something in India for India? Or are we going to come out with world-class products and push the boundaries and aim for the moon? Because time has come now for India to take its rightful position in the world. Unfortunately, whatever has happened over the last 75 years is not enough. We're still only a 3 trillion economy. Whereas China, which was the same size as us in 1987 in terms of an economy, has raced past us. Now they are 18 trillion economy. We're still a 3 trillion economy. They're almost 6 times bigger than us. My humble request to all the entrepreneurs is, like I said, there's been no better time in the history of independent India to be an entrepreneur. Earlier there was a time, I'm sure, Ramadevi Garu will relate. When she started her journey, I'm sure about 3 decades ago, 4 decades ago, మీరు 40 years industry అన్నారు కదా, 40 years కిందట Ramadevi గారు జర్నీ స్టార్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఐఎమ్ షూర్ ద ఆబ్స్టికల్స్ వర్ మచ్ హైయర్, ద ఎంట్రీ బ్యారియర్స్ వర్ మచ్ taller. Even now they are there. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that being an entrepreneur in India is easy, but it's become easier than what it was a few decades ago. It's much more easier to network, much more easier to connect, much more easier to exhibit, much more easier to reach the world now because technology has enabled us. Governments understand that business is important. Governments understand that wealth creation, employment creation is important. My humble request to all the entrepreneurs in this room. Santoshi was showing off her tractor. I think it's a tractor or an agri trencher. You have to forgive my ignorance. I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure it's a cool product. She was saying, I would like to expand. I'd like to start a larger factory in 5 to 10 acres. No, I think that should be the ambition. Wanting to do something larger, not just for India. I think try to push the boundaries, do something for the world, expand your horizons, and keep pushing the envelope. Don't be content being a women entrepreneur. Give men a run for their money. Give men a run for their money. Make them feel insignificant. Make them, feel that people keep saying, the women should women should, feel inferior or no less than a man. I think in fact, women are more strong in whatever sense, except physically, I think. I think there are a lot of women who can beat me up here. That's a different story. But you're strong in every possible domain. You're stronger emotionally, in terms of balance, in terms of sense of what is right, what is wrong. So many things, so many attributes. My humble request is, Government of Telangana has already created 3 women entrepreneurs parks, including the one in Nandigama, which again, and the one in Gajula Ramaram that Elip has created. We also have one more in Sultanpur. I think there's one more. Ekkada inkoti? Tupran lo inkoti undi. So all these are already available for you. If you want me to create one more, like Ramadevi Garu was asking. Unfortunately, Sultanpur, we've run out of land. I'm more than happy, Ramadevi Garu. మీరు ఇందాక చెప్తున్నారు మహబూబ్ నగర్లో పనిచేస్తున్నాం మేము, అక్కడ కూడా చాలా చక్కటి పని చేస్తున్నాము, అక్కడ కూడా చాలా మందిని ఆంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్స్ తయారు చేసే ప్రయత్నం చేస్తున్నాం. విలేజ్ లెవెల్ ఆంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్స్ గురించి కూడా మీరు అక్కడ నాకు ఇచ్చిన షీట్లో మాట్లాడారు. విలేజ్ లెవెల్ ఆంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్స్ టుడే, ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ థ్యాంక్స్ టు మై ప్రీవియస్ గవర్నమెంట్స్, థ్యాంక్స్ టు ద పీపుల్ హూ వర్క్ బిఫోర్ మీ, Telangana is one of those rare states and Andhra Pradesh is one of those rare states where women self-help groups are extremely strongly organized. వేల కోట్ల రూపాయలు ఒక్క తెలంగాణలో నాకు తెలిసి సంవత్సరానికి 14-15 వేల కోట్ల రూపాయలు డిస్బర్స్ అవుతుంది విమెన్ సెల్ఫ్ హెల్ప్ గ్రూప్స్కి. బ్యాంక్ లింకేజ్ల రూపంలో 5 లక్షలు 10 లక్షలు మొత్తం అది మెప్మా ద్వారా, అదేవిధంగా సెర్ప్ ద్వారా, సొసైటీ ఫర్ ఎలిమినేషన్ ఆఫ్ రూరల్ పావర్టీ ద్వారా ఈరోజు ఒక్క తెలంగాణలో 14-15 వేల కోట్ల రూపాయలు మహిళలకి డిస్బర్స్ అవుతా ఉన్నాయి. అండ్ జీరో ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఆన్ దీస్. My humble request is, Madam, హైదరాబాద్ లేదా వరంగల్ ఈ రెండు పట్టణాల్లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళే విమెన్ ఆంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్స్ కాదు. బయట కూడా చాలా మంది ఉన్నారు. చాలా కేపబుల్ ఉన్నారు. రూరల్ ఏరియాస్లో కూడా మీరే అన్నారు ఇందాక. మహబూబ్ నగర్లో అక్కడ కొంతమంది లంబాడి అమ్మాయిలతో కూడా పనిచేస్తున్నాము, ఎస్టీ అమ్మాయిలతో పనిచేస్తున్నాము, చాలా చక్కగా పనిచేస్తున్నారని చెప్పారు. నా రిక్వెస్ట్ ఏంటంటే తెలంగాణలో ఈరోజు మీ కళ్ళ ముందు entrepreneurship is not just about technology. As Santoshi has shown, you can come out with manufacturing, and this is in fact a manufacturing park is what you were telling me just now. నా రిక్వెస్ట్ ఏంటంటే మీ అందరితో కూడా తెలంగాణలో ఈరోజు మీ కళ్ళ ముందు 5 రకాల విప్లవాలు ఆవిష్కరించబడుతున్నాయి. కొత్త సస్య విప్లవం అంటే గ్రీన్ రెవల్యూషన్. ఎనీ నాన్ తెలుగు స్పీకర్స్ హియర్? అచ్చా, there are some. I'll have to translate now. A new green revolution is actually unfolding in Telangana as we speak. When the state began its journey, we were procuring about 68 lakh metric tons of paddy. As of last year, we procured 2.5 crore metric tons of paddy, second only to Punjab. That is how Telangana has grown in terms of how agricultural expansion has happened. Also, that is green revolution. Also, Telangana has 46,000 lakes and tanks through a program called Mission Kakatiya. In fact, Ramadevi Garu, she was talking about aqua, fish rearing, fish culture. My humble request to all of you, 46,000 lakes and tanks and new reservoirs that have been created have made Telangana today the #1 state in the country for inland fisheries. Blue revolution is what is unfolding in Telangana. And fish that I talk about, or even other, seafood and freshwater food that can be cultivated in lakes and tanks, is something that you should look at very, very closely. We have a fantastic policy, food processing policy, that encourages you to do that. And there are a variety of fishes that can be consumed in Telangana, in India. And there is other variety that also can be grown here, raised here, reared here, and exported to the world outside, West, Europe, US, other parts of the world. The third revolution that's unfolding right in front of your eyes is actually pink revolution. Pink revolution is not that of my party, not that of my political party. Of course, that is also happening, and that is, we are going to win back and come back again and talk to you guys in the same room next year. That is also going to happen. But pink revolution that's happening is also meat processing industry and how well that's shaping up. Meat processing is something that again is extremely important, because as affluence grows, as wealth grows, what will happen is people start eating better, people start eating more, more food which is full of protein. As a result, today, Telangana's livestock, in fact, because of a sheep rearing program that we have taken up, has doubled. And with the second lot that is being allotted now, I think Telangana will become the #1 state in India in terms of livestock, which again gives you ample room to go into the meat processing industry, which is called pink revolution. The fourth revolution that's also unfolding here is white revolution, which is nothing but dairy. Now, dairy in Telangana, the Vijaya dairy, which is a government dairy, was actually in losses when we assumed office. Now, today Vijaya dairy gives us back 30 plus crores of dividend every year. They've turned around, and there is ample capacity. My request again to all of you, I'll just give you one example as to how important this white revolution is, milk production is. There's a company called Fonterra. It was earlier called New Zealand Dairy Board. It's a New Zealand company. This one single enterprise, one single company, contributes to 8% of New Zealand's GDP. That's how important this amazing industry is, dairy industry is. Now, dairy, when I say, it's not just milk. Everything that comes with it. There's butter, there's cheese, there's chocolates, there's so many things that you can do in the dairy industry. And again, today India, in fact, imports a lot of these from outside, from abroad. This is another very, very important area. And the fifth one I'll tell you about is, today we import a lot of our edible oils, వంట నూనెలు దిగుమతి చేసుకుంటున్నాం. తెలంగాణ ఈరోజు ఒక కొత్త విప్లవానికి శ్రీకారం చుట్టింది. yellow revolution, oil palm revolution. 20 లక్షల ఎకరాల్లో తెలంగాణలో ఇప్పుడు ఆయిల్ పామ్ పంట పండించాలని ఒక లక్ష్యంగా పెట్టుకున్నాం. అందులో ఇప్పుడు మొదటి సంవత్సరం 1,50,000 చేరుకుంటున్నాం. తప్పకుండా ఇది పెరుగుతుంది. ఎడిబుల్ ఆయిల్ బయట నుంచి ఎక్కడి నుంచో, మలేషియా నుంచి, ఇండోనేషియా నుంచి దిగుమతి చేసుకునే దుస్థితి తప్పాలి. ఇండియాలోనే అది పెంచాలి. ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ ఇండియాలో 41 కోట్ల ఎకరాల సాగు భూమి ఉంది. ఇండియాలో 70,000 టీఎంసీల నీళ్లున్నాయి. ఇన్ని పెట్టుకుని కూడా మనం బయట నుంచి తిండి తెచ్చుకోవడం, బయట నుంచి ఎక్కడి నుంచి ఏదో దిగుమతి చేసుకోవడం అంటే సిగ్గుచేటు. కాబట్టే మన ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారు ఈ 5 రంగాల్లో ఇప్పుడు నేను చెప్పిన గ్రీన్ రెవల్యూషన్, బ్లూ రెవల్యూషన్, పింక్ రెవల్యూషన్, వైట్ రెవల్యూషన్ అండ్ yellow రెవల్యూషన్. ఈ 5ంటికి తెలంగాణలో బీజం పడింది. అద్భుతంగా తెలంగాణ భారతదేశం మొత్తానికే ఒక ఆదర్శప్రాయమైన రాష్ట్రంగా ఈ 5 రకాల విప్లవాలతో ముందుకు పోబోతా ఉంది. ఇందులో మీకు అవకాశాలు చాలా ఉన్నాయి. అది నేను చెప్తున్న పాయింట్. మీరు ఏం కావాలంటే, ఏం చేయాలంటే కూడా ఈ 5 రంగాల్లో, అంటే ఎంతసేపు ఎంటర్ప్రైజ్ అంటే, ఆంటర్ప్రినర్షిప్ అంటే హైదరాబాదు, నందిగామ, సుల్తాన్పూర్ కాదు. మహబూబ్ నగర్ ఉంది, నల్గొండ ఉంది, హుజూర్ నగర్ ఉంది, సూర్యాపేట ఉంది, పోర్ట్కి దగ్గర. మనకి ల్యాండ్ లాక్డ్ స్టేట్ మనం. పోర్ట్ వైపు పోర్ట్ యాక్టివిటీస్ కావాలంటే సూర్యాపేట జిల్లా మొత్తం ఉంది, నల్గొండ జిల్లా మొత్తం ఉంది. మీరు గిరిజన ప్రాంతాల్లో పనిచేయాలనుకుంటే ములుగు ఉంది, ఆదిలాబాద్ ఉంది, ఆసిఫాబాద్ ఉంది, భద్రాద్రి కొత్తగూడెం ఉంది, ఇంకా చాలా జిల్లాలు ఉన్నాయి. అదేవిధంగా మీకు ఇంకా ఇతర ఎన్నో జిల్లాల్లో ఎన్నో కొత్త వనరులు ఉన్నాయి. నా రిక్వెస్ట్ ఏంటంటే మీ అందరితో కూడా చాలా ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ రేపటి నుంచి మా ఫుడ్ కాంక్లేవ్ ప్రారంభం కాబోతా ఉంది. తెలంగాణ ఇస్ రిచ్ ఇన్ వేరియస్ ఫుడ్స్. సోయా పండుతుంది ఆదిలాబాద్లో. ఈ మధ్యన ఆదిలాబాద్లో ఒక రైతు యాపిల్ పండించడం స్టార్ట్ చేశాడు. యాపిల్స్ విచ్ వి థింక్ ఆర్ ఎక్స్క్లూజివ్ రైట్ ఆఫ్ హిమాచల్ మన దగ్గర పండిస్తున్నారు ఆదిలాబాద్లో. మన దగ్గర ఫిగ్స్ పండిస్తున్నారు, ఖజూర్ అవి కూడా పండిస్తున్నారు. నేనేమన్నా అంటే దయచేసి that's why I keep saying you're only limited by your imagination. What can be done, what should be done. Please don't aim small. నేను మొన్నెవరో చెప్పారు నాకు, మహిళల ఆంటర్ప్రినర్షిప్ అంటే PPP అన్నారు. పికిల్స్, పాపడ్స్ అండ్ ఇంకోటి ఏదో చెప్పారు దీప్తి, పెట్టి కోట్స్ అన్నారు. నేనేమంటున్నానంటే రాకెట్లు తయారు చేయడంలో కూడా మహిళలు రావాలి, అంతరిక్షంలో కూడా రావాలి, టెక్నాలజీలోకి రావాలి, ఫుడ్ ప్రాసెసింగ్లోకి రావాలి. అన్నింట్లోకి వస్తేనే ఓన్లీ వెన్ యూ స్టార్ట్ పుషింగ్ దీస్ envelopes and pushing the right buttons, you will achieve the success that you deserve. My humble request, government will stand with you, government will enable what you want to do, but you'll have to step up, you'll have to raise your game, you'll have to start thinking big and start expanding your horizons. Don't be content in getting MSME support from Government of India, Government of Telangana. మేము చేసేదేదో కొంత మేము చేస్తాం, కానీ ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా అద్భుతమైన పేరు సంపాదించే ప్రొడక్ట్స్ తయారు చేయాలి అంటే మాత్రం ప్యాషన్తో, అంబిషన్తో, అగ్రెషన్తో పనిచేస్తే తప్పకుండా మీరు అనుకున్నవన్నీ అవుతాయి. You can take Ramadevi garu as an example. She is very tenacious. She doesn't take no for an answer. Ramadevi garini no అని చెప్పడం కష్టం. She is always persuasive, always chasing. తప్పకుండా వారిని ఆదర్శంగా తీసుకున్నట్టయితే మీరు కూడా డెఫినెట్గా will achieve a lot of success. And she is always always with a smile on her face. She'll ask you very politely, ఇది చేయండి. మేడం మీరు చెప్పినవి చేద్దాం, కానీ నేను చెప్పినవి కూడా 1-2 చేయండి అప్పుడప్పుడు. మీరు రూరల్ తెలంగాణను ఒక సవాల్గా తీసుకుందాం, గ్రామీణ ప్రాంతాల్లో. ఎందుకంటే అందరూ హైదరాబాద్ మీద వచ్చి పడితే మనం కూడా బెంగళూరు అవుతాం. మరి మనం కూడా బెంగళూరు లాగా ఎప్పుడు ఎయిర్పోర్ట్లో దిగితే ఎప్పుడు ఇంటికి పోతామో తెలియని పరిస్థితి కావాలంటే మనం కూడా అట్లా అయిపోతాం. ఇప్పటికే కొద్దిగా అవుతున్నాం. ఇన్ని ఫ్లైఓవర్లు కట్టినా, 35 ఫ్లైఓవర్లు కట్టాం, అయినా ట్రాఫిక్ తగ్గట్లేదు. ఇంకా మెట్రో ఎక్స్పాండ్ చేస్తే తప్ప, ఇంకోటి చేస్తే తప్ప పరిస్థితి మారేటట్టు కూడా లేదు. అందుకే నేను మీతో కూడా అప్పీల్ చేస్తా ఉన్నా, హైదరాబాద్లో మన వాళ్ళం ఉన్నాం, కానీ మిగతా వాళ్ళ కోసం ఎక్కడికక్కడ గ్రామీణ ప్రాంతాల్లో ఇండస్ట్రీలు, మిగతా వాళ్ళకి ఎక్కడికక్కడ అవకాశాలు, ఉపాధి అవకాశాలు కూడా వచ్చినట్టయితే మీకు, మాకు, మనందరికీ, రాష్ట్రానికి, దేశానికి లాభం. మళ్ళొకసారి ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి నన్ను ఆహ్వానించినందుకు రమాదేవి గారికి, అందరికీ మిత్రులకు ధన్యవాదాలు. జై తెలంగాణ, జై భారత్.
I would now request Mrs. Sridevi Garu, and you are a pillar of strength to us for the past few decades. We take him for granted.
Please like, share and subscribe G3 Media.